David has declared his trust. Now he returns to the reality of what his enemies are doing. The psalm does not move in a straight line from fear to peace. It moves the way real life moves, back and forth between the pressure of the enemy and the anchor of God. Verses 5 through 7 pull the curtain back on the character and conduct of those who oppose David. Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. Psalm 56, verse 5. The word wrest means to twist or distort. David's enemies take what he says and bend it into something he never meant. They put his words through a filter of malice and hand them back as evidence against him. This is not a new tactic. The serpent used it in the garden when he took God's word and twisted it before Eve. Yea, hath God said? The serpent asked, and the distortion began. David's enemies do not stop at words. Their thoughts, the whole interior machinery of their minds, run against him. This is not occasional hostility. Their opposition is total. There is no neutral ground, no moment when they set down their grievances and leave David alone. This kind of relentless, calculated opposition is the mark of an enemy who has made destruction a full-time occupation. The application for the believer is plain. The world does not need a reason to oppose the righteous. Jesus warned his disciples of this in John 15, verse 18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. The twisting of words, the misrepresentation of motives, these are tools the enemy has always used against God's people. They gather themselves together, they hide themselves, they mark my steps when they wait for my soul. Psalm 56, verse 6. The picture shifts from slander to surveillance. David's enemies are not acting alone. They gather with others who oppose him. David's enemies conceal themselves and watch. They marked his steps, and each moment of vulnerability was catalogued. They wait for my soul. The word soul here carries the significance of life itself. This is not a minor inconvenience David describes. These men want him dead. Their waiting is patient and predatory. Both Saul's men and the Philistines have done this. This verse carries a sobering truth. The righteous are watched by those who wish them harm. But the same God who sees the enemy watching also cares for his people. Nothing done in concealment is hidden from him. Shall they escape by iniquity? In thine anger cast down the people, O God. Psalm 56, verse 7. David turns from description to petition. He asks a direct question. Shall they escape by iniquity? The question expects the answer no. Iniquity does not provide a path of escape. The very wickedness his enemies use as a weapon becomes the charge that stands against them before the Lord. In thine anger cast down the people, O God. David does not reach for his sword here. Rather, he turns to prayer. He places the matter in God's hands and calls on God to act. This is not personal vengeance. David appeals to divine justice. God's anger is not arbitrary. It is the right and measured response of a holy God to persistent, deliberate evil. David knows that God's anger, when it moves with an authority that no human can resist.